Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chidema. I'm a YouTuber based in Cross River State, Nigeria. If you are seeing my face for the first time, you're highly welcome. Please click the subscribe button and join the family. We are small but mighty here, no? If you're a returning subscriber, you're highly welcome. I so much appreciate you. Today's topics we are going to be talking about things that I'm intentional about as I grow older. So without wasting much of your time, let's dive into the video. Number one things that I'm more intentional about as I grow older is my goals. Before I used to live life as it comes. Anything that doesn't have this month that doesn't happen this month will happen next month. What does not happen in this quarter can easily happen in next quarter, or even if it doesn't happen this year, it can happen next year and next 2 years. But I've realized that if you don't pursue your goal, if you don't work towards your goal, it might never going to happen. You might not be able to reach that goal. So as a person, as a human being, as an adult, you need to chase your goals. That's why people say chase your goals, because it's not, sometimes to achieve your goals is not going to be easy. You're not going to get it on a platter of gold. You have to put in the work to make sure that you achieve your goals. What is your goal? Your goal might be to save more money this year. Your goal might be to get down to your weight, healthy weight. Your goal this year might be to, projects, maybe building projects, to make sure that you round it off up and finish up your building project. Your goal this year might be to, discover yourself. All these things are goal, no matter how you little they may seem. If you don't put in the work, that's one thing I've realized over the years or over time, that if you don't put in work to chase these your goals, you might never realize them. So I'm intentional about my goals. If I say, okay, I'm going to, get ABCD done before the end of 2022 or whatever year, I have to put in the work. If you put in the work on daily basis towards your goal, you might not really achieve it. So these are the things that I have educated myself on. If I really want to get this done, my effort, my behavior, my attitude, my whatever thing I do on daily basis should project that thing that I want to achieve at the end of the end of the month, or at the end of the year, at the end of the first quarter or second quarter or third quarter. So you don't just wake up one morning and say, oh, I want to build 3-story building. You have to put in the work. You have to start, okay, phase one, before 2 months we're going to be done with foundational level. The next 2 months we're going to fill in the foundation, step by step before you get there. So as the year is going on, as I'm growing older, I'm beginning to be more intentional about my goals. I don't live life as it comes as I used to. I am more intentional. No matter how little my goals I've set them to be, I try as much as possible to achieve them. Another thing I'm intentional about is my happiness. Guys, so many things are so depressing in this life. Even the things that are happening around you, if it doesn't make you unhappy, if it doesn't steal your happiness or steal your joy, what you hear from the internet can steal your joy. Economy can, take away your happiness. But I have decided to make conscious effort. That's why I say things that I'm intentional. It's not like they are easy. It's not like everything is there in place. But I've made conscious effort to see that these things work towards it, irrespective of the circumstances surrounding me. So no matter whatever thing that's happening around me, I make sure it's not like once in a while I don't find myself upset, or I don't find myself unhappy. No, I don't dwell in it. Immediately I fall into, that state of unhappiness, I make conscious efforts to come out of it. I try as much as possible to remove my mind from it. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it because I'm intentional about it. If you don't plan something, if you don't work towards something, you will not get it. So I'm getting so much better at being intentional about my happiness. Another thing that I'm intentional about is my rest. I take it serious. When we were younger, when we were children, rest is like punishment to us. When they say go and sit one place, go and sleep, you see it as maybe these people want to punish you. But as you grow older, you know that rest is the highest reward you can give to yourself. You level. Try and reward yourself by resting very well. Resting can be in form of sleeping. It can be in form of, just lying down, free your mind and be happy with family. Rest can be reading a book. Some people it can be watching movie and all the rest of it. Whatever thing makes you to relax, try and put it in. So I become so much intentional about my my rest. I become so much intentional about how I, take my rest, maybe by sleeping, by reading a book, by resting, focusing on the positive aspect of life, relaxing my nerves and everything, because our body goes through a lot on daily basis, our mind goes through a lot on daily basis. So if you don't purge it, if you don't bring it down sometimes, when your body will react, it will look as if what is happening. You'll be asking yourself, when did all this started? It's as a result of not having adequate rest. So another thing is, I'm intentional about is my space. I'm so much intentional about my space. I'm intentional about who I bring into my space. My space might not necessarily mean my physical space, like my home. Yes, it's part of it. I'm intentional about who I bring into my home too, as a friend, as a visitor, as whatever. Unlike before that, I opened my door so wide, anybody that wants to come can come. It's not necessarily about my home, my space in terms of friendship and all that. I'm more intentional. If you're I don't force friendship anymore. If I feel like this friendship is being forced, I will remove myself from that, equation. I will remove myself from the situation. If I sense that a friend is a toxic friend, I remove myself from that friendship. It's not by force. Friendship is not a do or die affair. So my space, my circle, I'm so intentional about it. If you're my friend and I'm not learning something good from you, or I don't feel good when I'm around you, you might not necessarily learn something tangible like learn handwork. No, it's not about learning manners or whatever. But you can, if I don't feel good around you, if I don't, if you don't, if the vibe around you is not, in line with my own vibes, we are not going to be friends. There's no two ways about it. So that's one thing I've discovered. And no wonder they say that the older you get, the tinier your friendship cycle becomes. Because when we were younger, we take all manner of bullshit from anybody. We bring everybody in. We carry everybody along. But as you are getting older, you are beginning to change. Your mindset will start changing. You start growing in your thoughts, in your exposure and everything. And before you know it, you start, there's some things that will not be okay with you again. Things that used to sit so well with you find them irritating, you find them as things that you can't tolerate, and you begin to understand and reevaluate the types of friends you have had in the past. And truly we know that some of the friends that you have had in the past, some of them are very toxic, and also the vibes were off then, but you didn't notice it because your heart were so young, everything about you were so young, you couldn't realize it. So as I grow older, I become so much, intentional about my space, my friendship, my circle. I prefer to work with few friends than having the whole country to be my friend. And at the end of the day, I'm being pressured. I don't feel happy being around those people. No, I always like things I do to come from my heart. If I'm talking to you as a friend, let it come from my heart. I'm not that type of friend that I will, hey, hi. When the person will turn his back, you now say, now wow. I'm not that kind of friend. If I'm with you, I'm with you. If I'm not with you, I'm not with you. The next point is, I'm intentional about food. I don't eat food to stupor anymore. I like to eat, although I've not been somebody that eats to stupor that much compared with what people eat in their mouth. But as I grow older, I'm becoming more intentional about food. I'm becoming, here in Africa, our parents did not do wonderful job in terms of teaching us how to eat fruits, vegetable, carbohydrate, the quantity of protein to put in a plate when you are eating. Our own is large plate of carbohydrate and small protein. Vegetable is just once in a while thing. But I'm beginning to, know I'm beginning to know the need for me to balance my diet, reduce the carb a little bit, add protein, add a good reasonable amount of protein, and try and inculcate vegetable into my meals. Sometimes I don't put it in my food directly. I try and I can eat my rice with my protein, then I'll now slice my cucumber and my carrot after, and eat it. It's still balanced, still entering the same body. So I know that in a day I try to put in fruit and vegetable in what I eat. Unlike before that, we feel like it's not necessary. We eat it when we eat it. It's not like we make conscious effort to eat it. We eat it, but we eat it when we eat it. We don't make conscious effort to eat balanced diet. So I'm becoming more intentional about food, not to overeat, to eat balanced diet, and hold myself, control myself. When I want to eat, I eat. When I don't want to eat, I don't eat. Another thing that I'm more intentional as I grow older is my mental health. Oh my God, this is very my mental health is very, very important to me right now. You know, if something is putting me under pressure, whatever thing it is, I try as much as possible to remove myself from it. This one is in line with what I said about friendship, my space, and mental health is very important. In as much as people don't, some people don't know about it. If your state of mind is not at rest, no matter how much you make, you will not, it doesn't balance. There's no balance. So your mental health has to be in check. If you're in an environment where your mental check is being threatened, maybe in your workplace, in your business place, in your compound where you're living, or something, in your neighborhood where you're living, you have to be very careful about it, because mental health is not a joke. So you have to make sure that you purge yourself from every form of mental stress, whatever thing that triggers stress to you mentally. Try as much as possible. To me now, I try as much as possible to avoid mental stress, avoid mental disturbance, anything that will stress me mentally. I try as much as avoid it. People don't know that mental stress is more dangerous than physical stress. You might be carrying block. As long as your heart, your mind, your emotions is intact, it might not really affect you. If you're someone that is strong, it might not really affect you. But when your soul is down, when you're mentally you are down, when you're mentally you are off, is a very big issue. So I try as much as most possible to maintain a very good mental hygiene, to put my mental health in check all the time. Another thing that I'm more intentional as I grow older is reading and increasing my knowledge. Yes, I used to read, but when I was very young, when I was in secondary school. But now, as time goes on, due to busy life, mommy life, everything, I tend not to read anymore. And I've made this 2022, I have tried as much as possible to, tell myself that I have to make it. Every month I have to read a book. Let me start from there. At least a book a month. So I've been struggling with it, but one thing about challenging yourself is that as you are forcing yourself to do it, the more you get used to it, the more you are gaining something. You might not know what you are gaining at that point because you are still struggling. But when the time comes, you know that, oh, this my struggle really paid off. To reading, I'm intentional about knowledge, not about reading for entertainment sake, not only about reading for entertainment sake. I also to learn new things, to gain more knowledge. And they say readers are leaders, and I want to be that reader that will be a leader. So I have so many other things that I'm intentional about, but I don't want this video to be too long. So we have come to the end of this video, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy filming it. If you have anything that you are intentional about, as please share it in the comment section. Nobody is an island of knowledge. If it's something reasonable, somebody can put it, add it to what you already have, and try to grow. And if you don't have and you are happy with what I mentioned, kindly also comment down below. And please don't forget to share my video. So hit the like icon, give me a thumbs up, and it will help my video so much. And thank you very much for stopping by. See you in my next video.